In this Sailing Doodles, we are back in the USA, sailing in the Chesapeake Bay. In the last episode, we motor sailed out of Annapolis down to St. Michael's. St. Michael's is one of the main destinations for boaters in the Chesapeake. It has an excellent marina and lots of fun restaurants and bars. It's also home to the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum.
Good morning.
I didn't get your camera.
No. So good morning. It's day 2 of our little sail. You may notice we're starting the day with coffee all over the brand new boat.
You baptized yourself in coffee.
He went to go shake his coffee and the lid wasn't on and boom. Everywhere.
Yeah.
All over me too.
I took the brunt of that.
If you hand me some paper towels, I can help on this side.
Can I have another coffee, please?
Yeah, you're gonna need some caffeine to clean this up.
After our morning coffee, it was time to go explore.
This is St. Michael's. We're gonna go kind of check out the town. I think like this area right here is on the weekends got to be like a party area because there's like it's $10 an hour to keep your boat here.
What?
And it's like everybody drinking by the pool and everything.
Hourly
$10 an hour?
Hourly dog is $10. So I imagine like on the weekends it's like, you know, party central here or something.
Yeah. St. Michael's is a unique artsy town with lots of fun stuff to do. We headed over to the Maritime Museum.
This is a replica of the boat that in 1608 John Smith explored the Chesapeake with. So in 2007, 12 crew did a reenactment of his voyage, like 121 days, 1,700 nautical miles. I just couldn't imagine doing all that, but I mean, it's just very simple. God, you gotta be baking in the heat all the time.
Where's the restroom?
Well, you're standing on it.
Where's the kitchen?
Yeah. Ugh, that would be. It's a tough way to do it.
Gotta do it.
Baking in the heat. I can't even stand next to it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, can't even stand
I can't even stand next to the boat. I'm hot.
Yeah. 12 people, 120 days on that
Air
boat.
conditioning on the boat.
Yeah, right? Ooh. Well, it doesn't look like there's anyone here at the moment, but this is where they would normally do like a boat building class, and you can be an apprentice, and there's people down there actually building wooden boats still. Pretty interesting how they used to do it back in the day. Like with rough cut timber and stuff like that.
If you're going to build boats, you need a boat launch also. This was an actual working lighthouse that was out in the bay that they moved to the museum. They refurbished it to its original condition and tried to keep it as authentic as possible, so you can see how these people really lived.
I don't know how cool it'd be being on a lighthouse worker, but
You didn't like it?
no, I mean it'd be cool, but lots of cool views, but you're just out here alone like all the time, you know?
No visitors?
Yeah, I don't know.
Aww.
This thing was
I
in
bet-
operation for like almost 100 years.
Did you see how many of these there were? There were like
Lots.
100 of them.
Yeah, I'm sure
All
there's
throughout
quite a
the
few. Yeah. Yeah, well
And
there
they
wasn't
screwed
Yeah.
down
no
and then-
GPS back then. You had to
the ice that would move with the ice, with the tides and everything. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So this is one of the hundreds of lighthouses they had around the Chesapeake Bay back in the day. This one was built in 1879. They removed it from its post and then brought it here on display. And it's kind of cool. They kind of left it how the people used to live on it. They had a little, because it was out over the water, so they had to get to it by boat. So these are basically the davits where they pull the boats up and down. Kind of interesting how they've had, 20 or 30 different people be keepers over the 100 years or so it was in operation. Interesting. So they, had old cast iron stoves to keep warm. They had their food and their coal and everything for that delivered by boat. And they said it was kind of a boring job. They had nothing, a whole lot to do, which I can understand that. You're just sitting out
They
here,
had checkers to play.
just lighting the light at night, and then that's it. That's all you do.
The museum also had an interior space where they showed off the boats that used to sail the bay.
It's a pretty cool old pleasure yacht here. Got a little cabin down here. Take the family out for a weekend. Pretty nice. I'm sure these were pretty pricey back in the day, though. Probably very pricey now. I think this has more space in it than my first boat, the Rough Seas. I'm pretty sure it does, actually.
What favorite's your favorite?
It is not my favorite. I don't like oysters.
Oysters are big business in the bay, and this part of the museum is dedicated just to oyster fishing.
Oh, this is cool, man. It's got a.
There's not much space in here.
Oh, you can sleep right there. There's a berth.
Wow.
Another berth.
Yeah,
right
there's
there.
berths. Yeah.
It's a 3-bedroom.
Yeah, it's a 3. Boy, you imagine how bad this place smelled? Woo.
Like oysters.
She has some really big shoes to fill. All right, well, that was cool checking out the museum, but now we got to get on the boat so that we can sail
Yes.
down the Chesapeake to another place. So let's do it.
Bay is beautiful.
It is pretty nice. Wish the water was prettier, but the rest of it's nice.
It was time to untie the lines and shove off. As soon as we could, we raised the sails.
So simple having a button for everything. Nice sailing boat. He was just pointing out it's rod steering. So like, you know, we're in 17 knots of apparent wind, and I'm, you know,
Jet the steering.
yeah. So I mean, able to hold the wheel like that with 17 knots of wind is pretty nice.
It's like butter. This whole boat is like butter.
That's another thing is that
Oh, that's just showing you.
you may
like,
not
where
hear
the
it,
where
and that's
it
a
was.
big sign is that there's no creaking anywhere. There's no creaking. Like none of the teak's creaking, the mast's not creaking. It's nice. Nice and calm.
Yeah, I like that nothing's creaking.
Yeah, it is nice.
Makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
We were able to sail as we headed south, but as we turned east into Oxford, we had to motor. The sun had already set by the time we pulled into Oxford and the marina was closed. So we pulled up to the empty T of a dock and decided we'd talk to the marina in the morning. Oxford's a bit smaller, not quite as much to do as St. Michael's, but there's still a good marina and a few restaurants. So join us next episode as we cool off before heating up with some fireworks. Thank you so much to our patrons. Our patrons get exclusive video updates on a weekly basis.